Salut everyone! In this video we're gonna be talking about the latest release from Nvidia, the Nvidia 50 RTX series. And as you know it, I run a RTX 4090 on Linux, and I would like to give my take about the CAS announcement there. And there is this video from Linus, who is actually the first one apparently to play with the RTX 5090. So let's get into it.
Jensen claimed on stage that the 5070 will offer 4090 levels of performance at $549.
Okay, so this we need to talk about. If the 5070 was at the level of performance of a 4090, for this price, I will be super happy. I will be super happy for everybody to be able to enjoy the 4090 for like this price point. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Looking at the hardware again, like this is not possible. Linus, I will believe it when I see it. Yeah, exactly.
I won't even want to see it.
One kidney, please. Okay, bro. To pay for the 5090.
Some of the AI and data center stuff from the keynote, but first, I want to talk GeForce. And right now, we are behind the scenes getting the first ever hands-on with the RTX 5090. Well, we aren't yet. Now we are.
Boy. Man, this guy. Look at him, dude. This guy. Okay, listen to me, chat. You're gonna think I'm a big Nvidia fan, or I'm a big, like, you know, Nvidia fanboy or whatever. But I have to say, like, this Nvidia FE, as they call it, is one of the best to date, right? I like the way they put, like, the 16 pin on the side like that. I like the fact it's a 2 slot and not a 3.5 slot like the monster I have here. Like, I love my 4090. Again, like I'm working on it every day. But when I look at this one, I'm like, dude, they did insane. They actually did insane. 2 slot card. It looks so small. I'm really looking toward like the experience is gonna get out of it.
State-of-the-art power delivery that enables a sick.
I like the vision there.
Dual slot cooler with pass.
Dude, watch. Look at this. Dual slot cooler. Can you believe it? So you know why I like that very much? I'm going to tell it to you guys. The way I see those video cards is like when you buy them, then you put them on your server and you use it for a second, third round. I still have my 3090. I still have my 1080 Ti. There is a lot you can do with those cards. I see it more as an investment. So obviously, like, it won't be as good as investing in Nvidia, or at least like it was like 2 years ago, but you can use them for years. And man, like, the fact it's a 2 slot factor means that I could put it in my Threadripper rig and maybe like stack up like 3 of them without any issue. And it's a problem with the 3090 I have right now. It's taking so much slot that I can't take advantage of the Threadripper architecture because some of the slots are behind the card. It sucks, man.
I can't wait to see it in action.
So here is my take. If you look at the hardware, I think it's going to be between like 20 and 25% more than a 4090 in pure rasterization. So grab my word, chat. 20 to 25, not more. 30 max. That will be my guess.
Let's play on the 4090. Yep. That's a pretty powerful GPU still. And it's even more powerful than you probably realize.
So, can you have... Man. Can you have the neural like option on the 4090? Did he leak something there? Did he leak some? I've never seen this option. Am I crazy, chat? Convolutional neural network. Okay, so let's see what he said. Sorry, chat.
Before we move over to the 5090, this build of Cyberpunk has some new goodies baked into it, including NVIDIA's new transformer model and DLSS 4 frame gen. So the results we're getting, even on the 4090 here, are not going to be comparable to your system at home. This guy is performing a little better thanks to some of these changes. It's nice that it's getting the extra help because...
Man, that's crazy. So it still works on the 4090. It's for the clarity of the frame, but it's not giving you the free extra frame. Oh, got it. Okay.
Is not close. Even without looking at the numbers, which are double. This is wickedly smooth. Yeah, there's a lot faster.
So guys, like for the one who never had the opportunity like to try one of those cards, it's actually insane. Like the gap is crazy. Even if you move from a 3090 to a 4090, when you look at the screen for the first time, you're like, whoa. Like it's a lot, chat. It's a lot, dude.
Looks pretty good. And Nvidia was
so listen, you know what kind of like trigger me when you have frame gen, at least on my card, is when you have any type of aim in the middle. You know the circle for aiming, and he's not using it right now. You see, but it will be blurry like that. You see this? It will kind of like be all over the place. So that will be like the first sign I would look at. And the second one will be, as you said, Kelia, it's the input lag. Frame gen, at least for my card, put a certain amount of input lag, which is bearable if you play solo game. It's okay. Especially if you use, for example, like a controller or something like that, it's fine. But if you play competitive game, there is no way. Like, it's just impossible. It's disgusting. So NVIDIA Warp will remove the input lag. Yeah, I've heard about that, Cosmic Savant.
Can a few hundred more CUDA cores net such a wild performance boost? Especially with so much less VRAM? It's a bold claim, but...
yeah, man. If you look at the lineup there, it kind of sucks, chat. Especially for this section here. Like 16 gigabyte is fair, but is it gonna be enough? I don't know, dude. Like, they undercut everything. Except this one. Like, the flagship is always at the top, but then the price difference, like, you go double in terms of price. Are you gonna get double the performance? So this is this weird approach where if you're gonna go all in on one of these cards, you're gonna be, yes, it might be smarter to get the TI rather than go solo, and it may be smarter to get the 1590 rather than to put your money in the 580. It is so hard, dude. Like, you are in this weird spot there. I know the 4080 like didn't make sense at the time about my card, because yes, it was cheaper, but you will lose like so much. It wasn't worth it at the time. 16 gigabytes is not going to be enough for 4K. I can almost max out my 4090 with texture for mod for Skyrim. Yeah, exactly. Give them the room to add a TI and a super card from the future. Yeah, also there is that too. The gap is 50%. I'm pretty sure we are missing a card in there. Yeah, I'm aligned with you. Like, they're preparing like the next release in 1 year and a half. So the release of RTX 5000 series Nvidia, what does it mean for us Linux user? And this is where I'm gonna be maybe a little bit sad, chat. Like, what does it mean for us? Man. So on paper, we know that the driver, they are ready. Okay, they are ready for the 5000 series. Okay, I don't know if you know that, but they are ready for sure. Like, if you look at all the release of the driver, it has been like patched maybe like 5 or 6 months ago. They have been patched. Okay, so on paper, I do believe, and this is my take, that if you buy a 50 series, it should work. Okay, out of the box on Linux with the latest driver, obviously. Okay, like, you have to go with the latest driver. So this should be okay. But the issue, I'm gonna tell you what's the issue. They have like a lot of new tech, right? So they have this DLSS 4. This does not, it depends on the driver, but it depends also of the way Wine and Proton are going to implement it. So you're gonna be depending on this first, Wine and Proton. And the second one is gonna be the Reflex 2, which is going to be depending again of Wine and Proton. So if you look at the timeline for the release of those features on Linux, right now, I think we got like DLSS frame gen, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. So what it is, 3.5, like we got it like 5 months ago at the top. How much did it take everybody to get there? DLSS frame gen was released with the 4090, right? So yes, 2 years. It took like 1 year and a half. 1 year and a half. 1 year and a half, chat, to get the feature. So you know where I'm going, chat, guys. You know what I'm saying. It means that if you want the feature, like if you buy this card for the feature, it's gonna be like at least 1 year down the pipe. Can I say that? So 2026 Q1, you get the feature. Maybe, guys, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe I'm really wrong. But this is the reality of what it is, okay? And it's not a driver issue because the drivers, they already have it. It's how it's going to be implemented through the translation layer. So what are you going to get if you get a 5090 tomorrow versus a 4090 today? So this is my guess, but you're going to get between 20, so plus 20, and allez, I'm being nice, plus allez, 35% in perf. I'm being nice. I'm thinking more like 30, allez. And I will call that like raw performance, which is more like rasterization, right? Because the claim, all the claim, they come from, you know, the feature. So this is a question that every owner of a graphic card right now using Linux has to think about. Nvidia driver has never had feature parity with Windows driver day and date, not since DLSS becoming a thing. Yes, but we will see how they react. So this is the thing, Cosmic Savant. I've been following like the pull request for the integration of Nvidia Reflex. And if you look at it, you will notice that at the time, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, that the thing was there, but it took some time for everybody like to get into it, right? Like it's not, and I'm not blaming anyone, right? It's just part of the process on Linux. So my point is more like the driver, they have it now, because let me rephrase. I don't believe that Nvidia is reworking the whole driver just for Linux. I think they just take the driver as they are from Windows and they modify it a little bit, or they adapt it. Let's word it this way. They adapt it to Linux. But whether, like, everything is already there. Now, do we have the right tools and the right call within Proton, within Wine to take advantage of this driver? Like, I think this is where the whole, I wouldn't say issue, but the whole challenge is. But yeah, like, this is where we are at. So this is the real question for the Linux gamer out there. I think if you jump into the hype train there, like, at least if you want to enjoy the new feature of the 5090, you're going to have to do one thing called dual boot. And I would say, like, if you're optimistic, I would say like 3 months. I don't think it's going to happen. To, allez, 1.5 years to take advantage of your hardware. And that, my friend, is the actual situation for the launch of the Nvidia card in January, end of January 2025 when you come to Linux. Yeah, that's rough. So, if you want to watch more of those videos, don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and also leave a little comment below. And I know you're gonna have a lot of like AMD lovers gonna be like, yeah, Nvidia sucks. I'm welcoming those messages too. Like, I think it's fair shot. But until then, I wish you to have a good day. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bisous, bisous.